Hey there, welcome back to more of Pokemon Blue Nuzlocke. And I finally remembered what Pokemon I was going to check out. I checked out like the Staryu and the Starmie, as well as also Side, you know, my Krabby. And I'm keeping Side, I am. But I remembered what Pokemon I was going to check out. It was Paris. So, I checked him out because he has a Grass-type move called Spore. He's the only one that actually has this Grass-type move, and it's a 100% accuracy to make another Pokemon fall asleep. And I was hoping that he would get that, and you'd be able to teach him the TM Dream Eater, so that way then he could just eat dreams and have a Psychic-type move like that. Turns out he can't. I really wish he could. Maybe he can in older, or in newer generations, not older, but in newer generations, he might be able to do that. I don't know. But I do know in Generation 1, he cannot. It's a shame, really. That would have been awesome. But I did check his moves, you know, he has Spore, he has Slash, and he has all that stuff. And it'd be actually really, really good, actually, if you went ahead and trained, got him Spore, and then once you're through the Pokemon Mansion here, you actually pick up the move Solar Beam, which he can learn. So that'd actually be working out really well for him. Just go ahead, get Solar Beam, Spore, put him to sleep, do your Solar Beam thing, done. Although you can also teach him Mega Drain. He can also learn Dig as well. So, you know, either way, he's viable in both ends. And I do know Bug types aren't really susceptible to Psychic types. So maybe you could actually be able to take out, you know, the Psychic-type Pokemon with it. Because Psychic-type moves shouldn't do that much damage, I think. I don't know, don't quote me on that. But, yeah, I was interested about that, and you can do that. And also, while checking out all that stuff too, I was also checking out Staryu and Starmie. Not that many moves you can learn. You can still learn Hydro Pump and all that stuff, but yeah, like all Water-type Pokemon, it seems, can learn Hydro Pump. I like Pokemon that have unique moves. That's why I liked also Paris, because he had Spore, which is his own unique move. But I was checking out a lot of the other stuff, and that's why I also like Krabby as well, because he's got Crab Hammer. But checking out like Staryu or Starmie, they could actually learn the TM Psychic. So if I didn't give Psychic actually to Trank, I could give it to him. He has Water-type moves, and then you'd have a Psychic-type move, and then I would have a Pokemon that could actually do some really good damage and have a Psychic-type move. So like I said in Pokemon Mansion in the last video, that if you just go in here and you have just a Water Psychic type, you could just level up all that you want, and you couldn't make them into that. So it's pretty cool. But, no big deal. Yeah, but right now, while I'm in here trying to get all this done, I'm also feeling like grinding up and leveling up Side, so that way then he becomes stronger. I did check when he gets Crab Hammer, which is at level 35. So, sadly, it's going to be a lot of no evolution for you until you hit level 35. And then when it hits level 36, then you can evolve. That type of stuff. But yeah, while I'm in here in the Pokemon Mansion, yes, I will be grinding per se as I go through the Pokemon Mansion. But I'm also trying to get through it all, get the key, get all the stuff in here, level up my Pokemon, and then I'm going to go after Blaine first. I haven't even gone after Sabrina yet, so I'm just sort of leveling up Tank as well to make sure he's stronger, because he's going to be the one going after Sabrina. I don't really have a Pokemon with me that can actually take care of Sabrina. If I was actually going for Jolteon, which I could if I wanted to, because I have yet to catch a Pokemon in that city, I could just grab them, grab Jolteon, go ahead and do it. But, nah, I just felt like, you know, doing this. You know, break up the norm there, break up the mold. People might see this and just go, oh, you already went through all this stuff, that's actually pretty quick on the videos. It's like, no, I've yet to go after her. But don't worry, once they're leveled up enough, I should easily just go in there, sweep, and then head on out. I've I've yet to even go through the second phase of the rockets. So, like I said again, go through and sweep. But yeah, Trank is also getting some levels too, because he's gonna be fun. Just bring Trank straight through that gym and just psychic everything to death. There you go. Let's try some Nightshade. A deadly Nightshade. More than half, that's good. Smog, a little bit of damage, 1 point of damage. Can't be poisoned. I'm okay. There you go. Yeah, level 17. Keep leveling upside. I can't get out of this whole place. It's one big puzzle. Yeah, these guys also, too, they don't initiate a fight until you actually talk to them. So these guys are actually trainers or burglars. So yeah, that's actually more unique stuff that they've actually done, which is pretty cool. It's always interesting to see like old tech and how they did it, and then it's just you also kind of wonder like how come the newer stuff, like other game companies or other games that sort of fit the same mold, like how come they didn't work on such creativity like this? And sometimes you kind of see that with some of the newer games. Not even just like Pokemon related games, but just other games like shooters or third-person shooters, platformers, all that jazz. Sometimes you just don't see it, and you just kind of wonder like, what did you focus on? Just curious. Don't mean it to be, you know, like throwing shade at you or heckling or harassing you or saying that you're terrible. I'm just sort of curious, like, what was your thought process, or what was your level of what you were trying to achieve first when you were creating the game? That's the kind of stuff that I'm kind of curious about too. But nowadays you can't have like a meaningful conversation without someone getting butthurt. Like even if you do playtest and you tell a company like what they need to improve upon or what you don't like in their game, they get instantly defensive. Like, first of all, you asked me to go ahead and play your game to see what I like and what I don't like. Second of all, grow a thicker skin. Just grow thicker skin, okay? Not everyone's out there to shit on you. YouTube might disagree, but in what it really is just like, hey, when it comes to me, I am here to shit on you, okay? I'm telling you what I don't like and possibly how to improve it. Sometimes if I can't properly explain what I don't like, then it's just, this is something that I see that I can't really put my finger on or I can't really describe, but it's something that's just not clicking for me. That's usually how it goes for me when I say something like that. Like, honestly, if there was something in this game that I couldn't properly explain, and maybe later on down the road I could, you know, I would. But when you see something, it's just like, I don't know if I'm the only person that sees this, or actually thinks about this, but it's like, if there's something in a game that I do not like, or I think is weird or confusing, and I can't properly explain myself as to what makes it bad, or what makes it to be something that I don't like. You know, it's not really just me shitting on it, okay? It's just, I can't properly make a coherent sentence or a coherent explanation as to why I don't enjoy it. That's all it is. Really. But nowadays, you just got people that just go instantly on the, you know, offensive just because someone doesn't like everything they do. Yeah. It's sometimes it feels like it's very difficult the more and more things go and evolve. It makes it more difficult to have a meaningful conversation, really. It always turns into, you don't like my shit, well then fuck you. When it's just like, instead of just like, okay, is there a little bit of validity into what they're saying? If you're not going with that, then, you know, it makes it difficult. That's just some of the stuff that I see. But yeah. Like, if I can properly explain it, I will. I'm not just gonna shit on someone's stuff just because I don't like it. The same way too if, like, you know, there's a Let's Player and I see them and they're just like, hey, you're a little bit quiet, you know, you should focus on that, you know, speak up a little bit. Or if you see something that I need to improve upon, by all means tell me. Say, for example, if I am complaining about something too much and you don't like it, you know, tell me just like, hey, maybe pump the brakes on that kind of stuff. And I'd understand and I'd respect it. You know? But when it comes to other stuff too, it's just like sometimes it needs to be said. You know, you can't really be quiet about certain things or just sweep it under the rug. Yeah. If I see something that I know that could be improved upon, I will go ahead and say something. Like, for example, for myself, when it came to the very first Dishonored game, I didn't like how the lady or the little girl, once she was kidnapped and once she was rescued, she gets kidnapped again. It just felt like at that point, after she got kidnapped the second time, it felt like they were padding the game. I felt that once she was rescued, once she was brought back with everyone, it felt to me like that was the end. That is a good ending point for the game, in my opinion. No other things were needed. No double cross, no backstabbing. It just felt like, okay, this is a perfectly good ending point for this game. I enjoy it. You rescued them. You have that sort of moment where it's like, hooray, everyone's together rejoicing. You saved the Countess, and the world can be a better place again, and we can fix the problems. That would have been a perfect ending. And then, of course, in the second game, they could have just started it off and where Corvo was the one that was training her as a master-apprentice moment. And then once he was away, you can make it to where he was double-crossed, or he was backstabbed, quite literally, and then through all the training that the girl went through with him, she would then find out who his assassin was and be able to avenge him. Or be able to avenge Corvo. That would have been perfect for both the first and the second game. I have yet to play the second game myself, so I can't really say that much, but I wouldn't have minded like a scenario like that. It would have worked out pretty well, in my opinion. You know, stuff like that. The same thing too, like, I don't know if you watch my Fallout New Vegas videos that I've done. I tried my best not to bitch about Fallout 4, but when I see things that an older game does better than a newer game, that's when I just can't be quiet. So there's some stuff in there, although I have tried to curb my attitude when it comes to that kind of stuff. Mainly, you know, what I can say right now is there's a lot more storyline, there's also a lot more quest lines in New Vegas, as well as Fallout 3 compared to Fallout 4. And that's why I think those games are better than 4. And where they focused on mods in Fallout 4, like, Fallout New Vegas did a much better job of it, because these mods were just attachments to your gun to make them better. That's what I enjoy. Yeah, that's all it really was, really, you know. But that's the reason why I have such a better time with those older games than I do with this newer game. But God forbid, if you want to have like an intelligent conversation like that, especially on the internet, it can't be done, it seems. I mean, I wouldn't mind conversing about this if someone would disagree with me and then go ahead and explain themselves properly or have, you know, a conversation like this. I'm all ears. I'm open to it. If you can go ahead and disagree with me and tell me these reasons right here, I'm all for it. But when I also talk about these games too, I talk about the vanilla version, not all the mods that dedicated fans do. So, that might also make it a bit difficult. I have seen videos of people with like the mods and everything else, and they do that, and make no mistake, they are some very brilliant mods. And then of course there's, you know, the other mods are like, here, you can play as a chick that's naked, or they have bigger breasts and a better ass. Also not disagreeing with that. You can have that kind of stuff in mods. Perfectly fine. I ain't disagreeing with that. I ain't saying it's such a wrong thing, but when it comes to like the games that I want to talk about and converse, I want to talk about the bare bones game, you know, the vanilla game. The game that came out when it first came out. Not all the hard work that dedicated fans, as well as also the modding nation created. Because then it makes something completely different. Because a lot of the times then, the modders blow these developing companies out of the water clearly. And of course, these companies, they don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear their shortcomings. But sometimes you need to grow up and be a better person. Like, if someone would to go ahead and tell me my shortcomings when it came to the content that I was creating as a Let's Player, I'm all ears for it. Go ahead and tell me what you like, what you don't like. Go ahead and tell me everything that I should improve upon and make it better. I'm all ears for it. I might not fully agree with what you say, and I might not take what you say to heart, or what you say that is something to improve upon, but you gave me the information, I accepted it, and I'm not instantly on the defensive. You know, as long as you're not just flat out saying, you know, you're a piece of shit, you know, go kill yourself, that kind of garbage that you see online, where you're like, hey, this part right here, you should really try and not do that much. It could be beneficial for you if you don't, or if you just, or it's like, hey, maybe focus on artwork, maybe focus on having things more coherent compared to one over the other, and just sort of stick to something like that. I'm all ears for it. That's just some of the stuff that you just need to hear as a human being to grow up, or even evolve. Because we're constantly evolving, I mean seriously. The way that you acted when you were a kid compared to where you're acting when you're an adult, leaps and bounds. Absolutely. Like, when I was younger, of course, always when we're younger too, sometimes, you know, like, yeah, we're pieces of shits, we do some terrible things, there's some stuff that I regretted that I did as a kid, but I grew up and I don't do it anymore as an adult. That's the type of stuff that you need to see, understand, and acknowledge. And that's also the same thing too when it comes to games, or game development. There's something that you might have done wrong that you need to improve upon. And wow, this muck actually took a full hit. Not bad. Okay, back to the game there. I know that was a bit ranty or whatever, but I'm trying to get through here while also making conversation. I'm doing pretty well, I might say, so there you go, flip the switch. There you go, you can see the other one's closed, but now the other one's open. Yeah. Hey there. My mentor once lived here. Who was his mentor? That's one thing that no one's ever explained. I know people love lore and all that jazz. Yeah, Magnemite. Okay. So. Yeah, we can go with Plix. Why not? Ooh, Supersonic Mist. Good. Perhaps I need to really start leveling up Plix more. That way then I can turn him into a Ninetales. And Magneton. Yeah, I'll keep out Plix. Yeah, these guys are still just only electric type, and then in the newer generations they're also electric steel. That's when fire really comes in handy. God, when you see like the way that this company went throughout the ages and improved and added new things, and added them to the older stuff and made it very coherent and balanced still, you gotta give these guys props. You really do. Even if you don't like the games, just for what they've done, you gotta give them props for that. Yeah. Even if there's like a game company that I don't like because of certain practices, if they do something interesting or improving in any nature, I always respect that. Make things better for the company, the gaming experience, all that stuff. There you go, level 40. Alright, got a Volt Orb. I kind of want to bring Plix out again. Alright, Flamethrower. Ooh, good shot. Alright. Overwhelming. Indeed. Alright, I'm gonna go give you a super potion. My last one, actually, so I gotta be careful on that. Okay, well, good time to end this, I guess. Yeah, leveling up Side as I go through this Pokemon Mansion, so Side, which is my Krabby, just leveling up there. We got Plix, the full Pix, hopefully he levels up enough to get the final Fire-type move, although I think he's actually really close. We got Tank, which is my Blastoise, Trank, which is my Haunter, Short Round, the Electrode, and also Dux, the Farfetch. This is the team I got with me. I think I might actually keep him like this, but yeah. Hey, thanks so much for anyone watching. Hopefully you're enjoying. Have a good one. See you later.